Hey, what's going on? Mull from Denmark has a new album coming out on the 30th of January. It is a phenomenal record, and Derek and I are about to get into it right now. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I am feeling full of emotion having listened to Dreamcrush. What a record. And full disclosure, I am so tired of the same sounding black metal. We get it in the holics, we get it from the labels, you go in and listen to new music, and there's a ton of black metal. I have no problem with black metal, but what makes me happy is that vocally, this band has a black metal thing going on with the raspy, classic black metal vocals. But lo and behold, it's sitting on top of some serious, melodic, interesting music. And I love the record.
Yeah, I do too. There are, as you said, there's some black metal hallmarks in terms of vocal stylings. There are points on the album where musically the band gets pretty aggressive, but by and large, I wouldn't, from an instrumental standpoint, wouldn't peg this band as a black metal band, but they have got super aggressive vocals. And they've also got some nice clean vocals in there as well. They are apparently, at least in Denmark, classified as blackgaze, which was new to me. But again, you know me, I'm terrible with genres, but the definition I found for blackgaze is part of the post-black metal movement, blending the aggression and screams of black metal with shoegaze textures.
I think that's a pretty good way of saying it. And when I was telling some friends of mine about what Mole sounds like, I was saying, you think of the Deftones, think of Turnstile without the salsa beats, and mixing it in with black metal vocals with some very, very clean very great, like really great clean vocals. I found them refreshingly innovative, different. And the fact of the matter is their music is, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistic, very optimistic. And yet it's very aggressive. It's very emotional. And when you read about the write-up on Nuclear Blast, it's talking about life experiences, negative life experiences. Yet it's it's very optimistic. So I appreciate the album, especially coming off my father dying and life events in the last couple years. For me personally, the record really hit home.
As I understand it, Ken Lund, I'm not even going to attempt your last name, good sir, because I will butcher your last name.
Kalage?
Yes, perhaps.
Klages?
Sorry, guys.
Klages? Yeah.
He's the drummer for the band. Holger Frost on bass, Kim Sternkoff on vocals, Sigurd Kellett on guitars, and Nikolai Busi on guitars as well. Again, apologies for the terrible job I did pronouncing your names. But
as Peter Steele used to say when he first started traveling, we are American ignoramuses. And
accurate.
We are more than American ignoramuses right now.
Yeah. So that is the lineup for the band. As I understand it, Ken and Kim, drums and vocalists, tend to do most of the songwriting. That is the low-grade reporting that I got. And you're absolutely right, going back to your point about it feeling like almost uplifting. A lot of this album is written in major chords, and it's very positive feeling, and it's very up. And I think when it was a couple days ago, you and I talked setting up the date for this record. I described this as a beautiful album, and I've had it going for the better part of a week now, and it is a beautiful album. Yes, there's aggression on there, and there's aggressive vocals, and the band spools up and gets into metal territory in various places throughout the record, for sure. But it is a very uplifting, I feel better at the end of the record than I did before I started, and that hasn't happened much in the last couple of years, with a few exceptions, of course. But this is a really, really lovely album, and it spans a bunch of different emotions, and you said it, and I will echo the sentiment that this is probably going to be in a top album of the year list.
Yeah, the song Young is one of their releases, and it is just an earworm. The guitars are just catchy as can be. They're not super heavy, they're not super riffy, but they just work. And then when you have the raspy black metal vocals over this very melodic, catchy riff, it's just, you sit there and go, am I listening to did we did we get transported to an alternative dimension here? Because I haven't heard anything like it. And you, as a progressive guy, I'm sure that this really scratches an itch because it's different.
My notes for this track is that it's one of those songs that really straddles the line between positive and uplifting and dark and brooding. Again, the use of the major chords versus minor chords and dissonance and things like that. And they very successfully bounce back and forth between those two vibes a lot on this record, which, among many other reasons people will have for listening to this, I think, would be an excellent entry point for somebody who wants to dabble their toes in slightly more aggressive music, because there's so much of this record that is calm and peaceful, even when there's aggressive vocals on top, that I think it's going to be a very approachable album for the masses, because it is aggressive in points and loving and calm and peaceful at points, but it's got something for everybody, and it's not so in your face that non-metal folks won't appreciate it.
Yeah, songs like Garland start off very, very emotional and soft. And by the end of it, you've got this borderline progressive, it's just all over the place, a extravaganza of sound, an orgy of sound, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's very emotional. You can really feel the energy in this song. And the first time I heard it, I'm like, what am I listening to in the best way possible? I loved it. I put it on repeat. I was going down to get my kids, and I couldn't get enough of it. And that led to one thing after another. And then when Crush came out, I was like, my goodness. And so when we got the Advance through Nuclear Blast, I downloaded it. I've had it going for a week, and I haven't listened to really anything else. And I love every second of this record. Very rarely does that happen. I mean, I think the last time that happened for me was probably Spirit World last year. And then the year before that, I loved Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere. Those are my three. This is my favorite record, and it's early in the year, but one of my three favorite records that's come out over the last 3 years. I think it's absolutely just a stunning, beautiful record, like you said, but also aggressive, and it scratches that aggressive itch, and it also pulls emotions out in you that you don't expect when you're listening. And that is beautiful art, when you can look at a painting and go, I feel that. Well, the same thing here with this music. And I think that they did an excellent job of portraying whatever emotion they were trying to pull out of people that listen to it. And kudos to them.
I reference Pink Floyd often when talking about music that has the power to change the way you feel. And obviously lots of bands can fall on people's lists, that can move you. And I had that experience with this album too. And it's rare. It doesn't happen that often. And they're a relatively young band. This is their third album. And it's masterpiece or masterful are very pointed terms. But this record is pretty damn close. It's just a really impressive outing. Going back to Garland, that's the first single on the album. And if you like Garland, I think you're going to love the rest of the album. I mean, it's very representative of the kind of music that's on this record. So if you've heard it and you like it, man, you're going to love the album.
Sonically, it's huge too. Like, this is written to fill massive stadiums. Like, the guitar solos, they're using the same effects, the same tones that Turnstile's using, and Turnstile's filling up stadiums now. And I could see the difference with their last record. Their guitars, their guitar tones, especially for the solos, the big echoey sound, and it's just brilliant. And I think that they knew that they came up with a really, really solid record, and they've given the tonality the space. It's going to fill up spaces, and it's going to move people. It's not a dream crusher. If anything, it should inspire you to be able to get over whatever it is that's a life event that actually tears you down, because I leave this album every single time I listen to it feeling invigorated. And that's rare for a metal record. And again, I don't know if this is a metal record. I don't know, what blackgaze is. Is that the right term?
Blackgaze.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I will research it. And shame on me, bad reporting, to not know what that is. But, I think that the comparisons to the other bands, everything from Pink Floyd to Deftones to Turnstile to Bathory, with black metal or whatever. Pick your poison with black metal. It all works. And they all fit in with those bands. And I think that the sky's the limit, and Dreamcrush is going to absolutely send them to the stratosphere.
Yeah, it's from a production standpoint, it's a really well mixed album. As you said, there's space for all the instruments on there, and there's a number of moments on the album where it's just like a wall of guitar. But it's panned perfectly. Everything has room to breathe, even though it's a wall of sound. The tones that they chose are phenomenal. Great guitar tones. It is a beautifully put together album, and at the risk of gushing, it's a fantastic bit of work, and I'm really happy to have gotten into it. You start the album. Again, we have an advanced copy, so we've got the goods that other people don't have yet. It starts with a track called Dream, and it's this beautiful, like really ethereal intro, and it just kind of like, it feels like it's tucking you into bed a little bit when it starts off. It's very cinematic and almost has like a John Hughes movie cinematic vibe to it, which is a reference the younger folks might not get. But then you get a taste of what the rest of the album is going to be like, with some great heavy riffs that come in at the back half of the first song, and it's really well laid out. I mentioned Failure as one of my all-time favorite bands in our last episode, and there were a couple of tracks, one song in particular, Favor, has some moments in there that feel very Failure-esque, and to me, like, Failure is a band that moves me quite a bit. And when I picked up some of these vibes, and not to say that they sound like Failure or anything like that, but I thought, oh man, here we go. This is one of those bands that just clicks and hits so many spots. I'm excited about this record. I'm excited for more people to hear it too, because I think it's got something different that other bands aren't doing, and that's exciting too.
Yeah, my dog just walked by. I don't know if it was picked up of him drinking water. He always seems to do this when I'm recording. He has listened to this record more than probably, everybody who's watching this podcast, and he hasn't complained about it yet. So that's good. But again, I feel like I'm gushing as well. And if we still did scores, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Go listen to it, whether you're a black metal fan, whether you like alternative rock,
shoegaze,
whatever, whatever it is. This is probably going to sit across a lot of genres and work for a lot of people. We've talked about trying to get Monty Connor from Nuclear Blast to come on, because he does these amazing storytelling of album art on social media, and I'd love to talk to him, just stories, because he started Roadrunner and he signed, Sepultura and Typo Negative and all these bands. But I want to know if he was the one that found this band, and what was it that he heard, and what did he do, or whoever at Nuclear Blast did, to bring out the best in this band? Because again, we're shit talk reviews. We're supposed to shit talk each other and shit talk things, and we're not shit talking. We're gushing. We are in full bloom love with, Dreamcrush, and rightfully so. I think everybody that a lot of people will listen to this and feel the same way.
I don't disagree with any of that. And we are working to get the band on for a chat. As you said, Derek, you're working to get Monty, hopefully, to come on and chat with us for a little bit. I mean, talk about a man that is a wealth of industry knowledge, especially in the heavy music world. Would love to chat with him for a little while. We've got a bunch of other interviews we're working on setting up this year too. We're hoping it's going to be a year full of good conversations with cool people.
Yeah. Well, with that, Mol, Dreamcrush, it's coming out January 30th on Nuclear Blast. It is an absolute home run. It's a touchdown. Pick your sport. It's a goal. Just very, very good. It's grimy 1 second, and it's just optimistic and beautiful the next. And that is, to me, perfect artwork.
You know what? You're right. Everything you just said is spot on. One of the things that I'd like to throw out there too, for those folks who might want to check out some more aggressive stuff, we talk about, the black metal style vocals, and they are aggressive vocals. But in the context of this album, they are mixed in such a way that it's not like somebody is screaming in your face. It is, yes, they are screamy, screamo, aggressive, aggro vocals. But in the context of the album, they're almost soft. You know, they've got edgy and they're throaty, but it's not over the top, and it doesn't take anything away from some of the beautiful interludes that are happening underneath it. Props to the production team and writing on this record as well, because it's top notch. Can't wait to find these guys and get them on.
And Sternkopf, when he sings, you can see the pain, like the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll post those on our page, where the podcast resides. But you can really feel it, and he's into it. He really lets it out. And I'm curious if they ever make it to the States. I will be there wherever they end up in New England. I will be there with bells and whistles. So yeah, check them out. Enough gushing.
Absolutely. If you've made it this far in the video, we appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it to your friends. Definitely share this episode with your friends. More people need to know about this band. So let's spread the word far and wide, because the album is deserving of attention. Well, that's our take anyway. We could be wrong. If you disagree, throw a comment down below and tell us why you think we're idiots. I'm fragile, but we'll take it.
I'm not. I don't care. I've had enough bad life experiences, and Mole has helped me drag me through it to the point where I no longer care.
On that note, an excellent album. It's been a pleasure to listen to. It's going to stay on my playlist, and I will see you on the next one, Derek.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right, man. See ya.